There's 0 law schools in Eastern Kentucky and very few in Central Appalachia for that matter. And for a lot of rural students, that means that the legal realm can feel like a different world, not just physically, but mentally as well. And sometimes it even feels like those spaces are built for students that have easier access into them originally. But at the University of the Cumberlands, where I go to school, there's one person who's making an incredible effort to change that. My name's Trey Jackson, and I'm from London, Kentucky, and I'm happy to be on the Rooted and Rising journey this summer. I'm a recent graduate from the University of the Cumberlands, like I said, and I'm a first generation aspiring law student. Nobody in my family had any connection to the legal field, and I've been the first that had any aspirations to go that route. So when I first became interested in law school, I had no clue where to start, no clue what to do or what next steps look like. I just had an interest and I had a passion and I knew it's what I wanted to do. I think that's true for a lot of rural students that are in my spot. There's no connection, but you really feel the desire to serve your community in that way, but no really idea of where to start. One person I've really seen change that is Professor Catherine Ball. She's an assistant professor, but also works full time in the court system. She gives you that real world connection in that space. Even with all that, she really still makes time to invest deeply in students like myself. This year, she helped create the first ever Phi Alpha Delta Pre-Law Honor Society chapter at our school, which was tremendous. It was a tremendous feat, just administratively and just gathering the support of students and faculty as well. You know, it matters more than most people realize. Truly, having that connection really matters. Students interested in law can feel isolated. Like I said, that was me, especially first generation students. Students outside of traditional majors as well, like political science and history. It feels so distant. I was a business student, and honestly, I didn't know if I was a good fit for law at first. It just felt like I said, a different world. Professor Ball, she immediately made me feel included, even from the first moment I began to inquire about LSAT prep. She was right there, and she don't sugarcoat. She tells you how it is, and she's honest with you, but she cares. She wants you to succeed. She recognized that future lawyers can come from anywhere, here in rural Kentucky, from any sort of major background. That's the kind of innovative thinking in rural settings that intentionally opens doors for students who may not have seen themselves in those spaces before. She just invests in students, plain and simple. That's the kind of stuff that we need in Eastern Kentucky, people to invest. She does that, and she does that with her whole heart, and that's what has made such a difference, not only for myself, but the handful and countless other students from UC who are going to law school this year with scholarship money from rural Kentucky. It's all because of her. She lit that fire and she stayed honest to pursue that path, and she's been such a resource. That's the kind of people that we need in rural communities. The thing about Professor Ball is that she's direct. Students trust her because of that. In Appalachian communities, people value honesty. It's incredibly important. You can usually tell when somebody genuinely cares and when they're just going through the motions. She's direct with students, like I said. She expects a lot, but that's why the students respect her so much. She puts that drive in you, and she expects to get 110% back. She makes law school not feel impossible for students like me. She makes it feel reachable. And this year, she helped bring the Kentucky Supreme Court to our campus, and that was huge to have that legal realm just brought to your front door and get to watch it there. A lot of students don't have the resources to drive almost 2 hours to Frankfort to watch court proceedings. So it's tremendous when the court is just brought to campus. Now, there's plenty of research that shows that rural America faces major legal access shortages. A large percentage of Americans live in rural communities, about 20%, but only a small percentage, 2%, of law practices exist there. That's a major barrier. And that's bigger than just lawyers. Rural communities often struggle with access to mentors, networks, and professional opportunities in general. That's why people like Professor Ball matter so much. She's what this project calls a weaver, and someone building trust and connections so students feel seen and heard rather than overlooked. That's what a weaver is, and Catherine Ball is absolutely 100% a weaver in every sense of the word. She's shown me that sometimes the most important thing you can do is simply help somebody believe they belong somewhere, like the legal field. I think young people need more weavers right now, people who connect us to opportunity while keeping us grounded in who we are and where we come from. Because when rural students feel known, supported, and connected, they stop asking whether they belong in spaces, like I did, and they start preparing to lead in them. So I'm Trey Jackson. This is my Rooted and Rising story for the month of May. I hope you continue to follow along, and please send in any questions, and love to share more of my journey as we progress through this. Thank you.